Jews, came to us to renew the former friendship with us. And it pleased the people to receive the men honorably, and to put a copy of their words in the public records, to be a memorial to the people of the Spartans. And we have written a copy of them to Simon the high priest. And after this Simon sent Numenius to Rome with a great shield of gold, of the weight of 1,000 pounds, to confirm the league with them. And when the people of Rome had heard these words, they said, What thanks shall we give to Simon and his sons? For he hath restored his brethren, and hath driven away in fight the enemies of Israel from them. And they decreed him liberty, and registered it in tables of brass, and set it upon pillars in Mount Sion. And this is a copy of the writing. The 18th day of the month Elul, in the year 172, being the 3rd year under Simon, the high priest, at Azar Amel, in a great assembly of the priests and of the people, and the princes of the nation, and the ancients of the country, these things were notified. Forasmuch as there have often been wars in our country, and Simon the son of Mattathias, of the children of Jarib, and his brethren have put themselves in danger, and resisted the enemies of their nation, for the maintenance of their holy places, and the law, and have raised their nation to great glory. And Jonathan gathered together his nation, and was made their high priest, and he was laid to his people. And their enemies desired to tread down and destroy their country, and to stretch forth their hands against their holy places. Then Simon resisted and fought for his nation, and laid out much of his money, and armed the valiant men of his nation, and gave them wages. And he fortified the cities of Judea and Bethsura, that lieth in the borders of Judea, where the armour of the enemies was before, and he placed there a garrison of Jews. And he fortified Joppa, which lieth by the sea, and Gazara, which bordereth upon Azotus, wherein the enemies dwelt before. And he placed Jews here, and furnished them with all things convenient for their reparation. And the people, seeing the acts of Simon, and to what glory he meant to bring his nation, made him their prince and high priest, because he had done all these things, and for the justice and faith which he kept to his nation, and for that he sought by all means to advance his people. And in his days things prospered in his hands, so that the heathens were taken away out of their country, and they also that were in the city of David in Jerusalem, in the castle, out of which they issued forth, and profaned all places round about the sanctuary, and did much evil to purity. And he placed therein Jews for the defence of the country, and of the city, and he raised up the walls of Jerusalem. And King Demetrius confirmed him in the high priesthood. According to these things he made him his friend, and glorified him with great glory. For he had heard that the Romans had called the Jews their friends, and confederates, and brethren, and that they had received Simon's ambassadors with honour. And that the Jews and their priests had consented that he should be their prince and high priest for ever, till there should arise a faithful prophet. And that he should be chief over them, and that he should have the charge of the sanctuary, and that he should appoint rulers over their works, and over their country, and over the armour, and over the strongholds. And that he should have care of the holy places, and that he should be obeyed by all, and that all the writings in the country should be made in his name, and that he should be clothed with purple and gold, and that it should not be lawful for any of the people or of the priests to disannul any of these things, or to gainsay his words, or to call together an assembly in the country without him, or to be clothed with purple, or to wear a buckle of gold. And whosoever shall do otherwise, or shall make void any of these things, shall be punished. And it pleased all the people to establish Simon, and to do according to these words. And Simon accepted thereof, and was well pleased to execute the office of the high priesthood, and to be captain, and prince of the nation of the Jews, and of the priests, and to be chief over all. And they commanded that this writing should be put in tables of brass, and that they should be set up within the compass of the sanctuary, in a conspicuous place, and that a copy thereof should be put in the treasury, that Simon and his sons may have it. End of chapter 14. Chapter 15. And King Antiochus, the son of Demetrius, sent letters from the isles of the sea to Simon, the priest, and prince of the nation of the Jews, and to all the people. And the contents were these: King Antiochus to Simon, the high priest, and to the nation of the Jews, greeting. Forasmuch as certain pestilent men have usurped the kingdom of our fathers, and my purpose is to challenge the kingdom, and to restore it to its former estate, and I have chosen a great army, and have built ships of war, and I design to go through the country, that I may take revenge of them that have destroyed our country, and that have made many cities desolate in my realm. Now therefore I confirm unto thee all the oblations which all the kings before me remitted to thee, and what other gifts soever they remitted to thee. And I give thee leave to coin thy own money in thy country, and let Jerusalem be holy and free, and all the armour that hath been made, and the fortresses which thou hast built, and which thou keepest in thy hands, let them remain to thee, and all that is due to the king, and what should be the king's hereafter, from this present and for ever, is forgiven thee. And when we shall have recovered our kingdom, we will glorify thee, and thy nation, and the temple, with great glory, so that your glory shall be made manifest in all the earth. In the year 174, Antiochus entered into the land of his fathers, and all the forces assembled to him, so that few were left with Tryphon. And King Antiochus pursued after him, and he fled along by the sea coast, and came to Dora. For he perceived that evils were gathered together upon him, and his troops had forsaken him. And Antiochus camped above Dora with 120,000 men of war, and 8,000 horsemen. And he invested the city, and the ships drew near by sea, and they annoyed the city by land and by sea, and suffered none to come in or to go out. And Numenius and they that had been with him came from the city of Rome, having letters written to the kings and countries, the contents whereof were these: Lucius, the consul of the Romans, to King Ptolemy, greeting. The ambassadors of the Jews, our friends, came to us, to renew the former friendship and alliance, being sent from Simon the high priest, and the people of the Jews. And they brought also a shield of gold of 1,000 pounds. It hath seemed good therefore to us to write to the kings and countries, that they should do them no harm, nor fight against them, their cities or countries, and that they should give no aid to them that fight against them. And it hath seemed good to us to receive the shield of them. If therefore any pestilent men are fled out of their country to you, deliver them to Simon the high priest, that he may punish them according to their law. These same things were written to King Demetrius, and to Attalus, and to Ariarthes, and to Arsaces, and to all the countries, and to Lampsacus, and to the Spartans, and to Delos, and Mindus, and Sicyon, and Caria, and Samus, and Pamphylia, and Lycia, and Alicarnassus, and Cos, and Side, and Aradus, and Rhodes, and Phasaelis, and Gort-e-na, and Nidus, and Cyprus, and Cyrene. And they wrote a copy thereof to Simon the high priest, and to the people of the Jews. But King Antiochus moved his camp to Dora the second time, assaulting it continually, and making engines, and he shut up Tryphon, that he could not go out. And Simon sent to him 2,000 chosen men to aid him, silver also and gold, and abundance of furniture. And he would not receive them, but broke all the covenant that he had made with him before, and alienated himself from him. And he sent to him Athenobius, one of his friends, to treat with him, saying, You hold Joppa, and Gazara, and the castle that is in Jerusalem, which are cities of my kingdom. Their borders you have wasted, and you have made great havoc in the land, and have got the dominion of many places in my kingdom. Now therefore deliver up the cities that you have taken, and the tributes of the places whereof you have gotten the dominion, without the borders of Judea. But if not, give me for them 500 talents of silver, and for the havoc that you have made, and the tributes of the cities, other 500 talents, or else we will come and fight against you. So Athenobius, the king's friend, came to Jerusalem, and saw the glory of Simon, and his magnificence, and gold and silver, and his great equipage, and he was astonished, and told him the king's words. And Simon answered him, and said to him, We have neither taken other men's land, neither do we hold that which is other